The European Charter for Regional or Minority Languages is a European treaty adopted in 1992 under the auspices of the Council of Europe to protect and promote historical regional and minority languages in Europe. The preparation for the Charter was undertaken by the predecessor to the current Congress of Local and Regional Authorities, the Standing Conference of Local and Regional Authorities of Europe, because involvement of local and regional government was essential. The actual charter was written in the Parliamentary Assembly based on the Congress or recommendations. It only applies to languages traditionally used by the nationals of the state parties, which significantly differ from the majority or official language and that either have a territorial basis or are used by linguistic minorities within the state as a whole. Some states, such as the Ukraine and Sweden, have tied the status of minority language to the recognized national minorities, which are defined by ethnic, cultural or religious criteria, thereby circumventing the Charter's notion of linguistic minority. Languages that are official within regions, provinces or federal units within a state are not classified as official languages of the state and may therefore benefit from the Charter. On the other hand, Ireland has not been able to sign the Charter on behalf of the Irish language as it is defined as the first official language of the state. The United Kingdom has ratified the Charter in respect to Welsh in Wales and Irish in Northern Ireland. France, although a signatory, has been constitutionally blocked from ratifying the Charter in respect to the languages of France. The Charter provides a large number of different actions state parties can take to protect and promote historical regional and minority languages. There are two levels of protection. All signatories must apply the lower level of protection to qualifying languages. Signatories may further declare that a qualifying language or languages will benefit from the higher level of protection, which lists a range of actions from which states must agree to undertake at least 35 protections. Countries can ratify the Charter in respect of its minority languages based on Part 2 or Part 3 of the Charter, which contain varying principles. Countries can treat languages differently under the Charter. For example, in the United Kingdom, the Welsh language is ratified under the general Part 2 principles as well as the more specific Part 3 commitments, while the Cornish language is ratified only under Part 2. Part 2 of the Charter details 8 main principles and objectives upon which states must base their policies and legislation. They are seen as a framework for the preservation of the languages concerned. Recognition of regional or minority languages is an expression of cultural wealth. Respect for the geographical area of each regional or minority language. The need for resolute action to promote such languages. The facilitation or encouragement of the use of such languages, in speech and writing, in public and private life. The provision of appropriate forms and means for the teaching and study of such languages at all appropriate stages. The promotion of relevant transnational exchanges. The prohibition of all forms of unjustified distinction, exclusion, restriction or preference relating to the use of a regional or minority language and intended to discourage or endanger its maintenance or development. The promotion by states of mutual understanding between all the country's linguistic groups. Part 3 details comprehensive rules across a number of sectors that states agree to abide by. Each language to which Part 3 of the Charter is applied must be specifically named by the government. States must select at least 35 of the undertakings in respect of each language. Many provisions contain several options, of varying degrees of stringency, one of which has to be chosen, according to the situation of each language. The areas from which these specific undertakings must be chosen are as follows: education, judicial authorities, administrative authorities and public services, media, cultural activities and facilities, economic and social life, transfrontier exchanges. Languages protected under the Charter. Countries that have ratified the Charter, and languages for which the ratification was made.